Hello and welcome back to another Walking Dead video, and today we will talk about Isle of the Dead because we've had a little kind of news drop for Isle of the Dead. So I kind of want to break down the news, what I think it's going to happen, like kind of have my thoughts and opinions on the news and kind of inform you about the latest thing we know about Isle of the Dead. So what is the news? Let's break it down. So we kind of got this news from the Chief of Program from AMC, and he kind of talks about Isle of the Dead and when it's set, and we now know that Isle of the Dead will take place 12 years after the Fall of the Apocalypse. So it will take place almost immediately after the Walking Dead Season 11's finale, but before the little time jump that we get. So this means that we could end up having more shows at different timelines, because I think the Daryl show takes place after the little time jump we get, because we saw Daryl in the final shots of like when they're filming the kind of little time jump sections, but we didn't see Maggie and Negan. So this means we're going to have yet another show take place at a different time period. So we've never really had a shows take place during the same time as each other, and we're still not going to have that. This means there'll be definitely no option for crossovers at any point between Isle of the Dead and the Daryl show, because they're probably like 5 to 6 years apart. And we have learnt more information about New York. Exactly, we learnt that during the fall, the military blew up all the bridges and tunnels connecting Manhattan to the outside world, and 1 million walkers now kind of roam Manhattan and rule Manhattan. The few survivors that are stuck on Manhattan for these past 12 years now live above the 10th floor of buildings and zipline from building to building. And that's all the information we know, and it's weird information we've been given with 1 million walkers and everyone has to live above the 10th floor. So I definitely think we are getting special walkers if people have to live that high up. They can't be on maybe the second floor, the third floor. Why is it the 10th floor? So we're definitely getting focused on the 10th floor. And I'm getting Dying Light vibes with the mention of everyone having to live on roofs and having the zip line from building to building. It's basically a lot of parkour. And I definitely think the reason why they mentioned everyone has to live on roofs is because everything on ground level is flooded. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a very early establishing shot in the show showing that each street is just packed full of walkers, and everywhere you look there's just walkers. It's just a very condensed thing, and with them being so high, I definitely think we're getting a special walker. It's definitely going to be a regional walker. I'm definitely thinking we are getting maybe kind of runners or something similar, like runners, climbers, just so they have to be so high to get away from these creatures, and maybe they have to zip wire because maybe building paths or roads like kind of bridges and stuff on roofs, that'd be a bad idea because the walkers, if they climb up, they can get over. So we are definitely going to get some sort of new walker variant to be the threat and the reason why our characters have to be so high in these skyscrapers and have to use those means of travels from building to buildings. It'd be a very interesting show to have like kind of every shot of the show take place in skyscrapers and looking down upon a herd of walkers. Now let's go back to the 12 years thing, because I do want to talk more about that, because now we know when it takes place, we can have more of an idea and more like kind of theories and kind of discuss more about why Maggie and Negan are going to New York. My original theory is there will be a time jump so that Herschel can age up, so Maggie and Negan can go without Maggie worrying about Herschel. But we know it's 12 years after. Herschel's still going to be 10. Why would Maggie leave a 10-year-old, even though she's like furiously attached to it and always about like, I'm the best parent? Why would she leave that child? She's not Rick or Michonne. She's a better parent than those two people. Like, why is she going to leave this child? I have two theories. One, Herschel dies, okay? And that's why they go. I believe this is very unlikely. The second reason why they go to New York right after they deal with the Commonwealth and while Herschel's still a child is that during the end of season 11, Herschel could be abducted. I also am going to mention I definitely believe this is CRM related. So it could be one of two things. Herschel's abducted, so Maggie and Negan go to New York to try and bring back Herschel, try and save Herschel, and maybe that's why we don't see him for a few seasons, because maybe we'll get there, we won't see him to maybe the final season, and maybe there's some times pass and you can get a new actor to be Herschel. That's what I think could happen. Could get that. Or the second thing is something big happens. Maybe during the end of The Walking Dead, the CRM come in, they do something big, and they find a clue going, okay everybody, they have gone to New York. What are we going to do? And maybe Maggie volunteers, and then Negan just tags along, and the whole plan is just to hop in, get the thing, and get back. And the story will still be about them going to find Herschel. It'll be about them going in, they get it, and the story will be focused on how they're going to escape New York. And that's the focus of the story, and how they're stuck in maybe some faction war, and that's just their whole focus, trying to escape. But for whatever reason, I don't think the CRM are important to the story. You might not see them in the show, but I definitely think they're the reason they head to New York. It could be two things. It's a rescue mission to go save Herschel or someone else, or just to grab something, but then they get stuck and have to get back. It's something like that. Also, talking about Negan, why he goes, I definitely think, hands down, and he's going to die and his child's not going to be born. That's the reason. It's very simple with Negan, but Maggie, it's very complicated why she would leave Herschel, but I think it's just one of those two reasons. But she didn't expect that she was going to be gone for so long, or she's going to save him. And that is the video. So tell me down below, what do you think about this news that we found out? Are you more excited for Isle of the Dead, or are you not? Do you think there's definitely a new Walker variant, and that's why we have like this new kind of mode of transport, new setting of has to be in skyscrapers above certain levels? Do you think we're getting a new Walker variant and it's gonna be very Dying Light? I'm imagining like basically Dying Light now with what we've known now. And please tell me down below, why do you think Maggie and Negan go there? What is your theory for they go there? You heard mine. Tell me if you agree with mine or disagree with mine. And if you want more walking content, please look on the screen. And make sure to help out the channel by hitting the like button and subscribe if you want more walking content all the time. This is it for me today. So goodbye, peace out, and I'll talk to you at a later date.